How influential is music? It is everywhere. In the malls, the grocery stores we shop in, the bowling alleys and arcades we have fun in, our homes and our private lives, our cars at the gym. We are exposed to music of all kinds in our society. But how influential is music we listen to?
An example of how music has affected the mind throughout history of powerful leaders is with King George. The king was forgetting things and making misjudgments. George read the King Saul's story with David, playing music for him to help him feel better and rule better, and wondered if it still worked. He asked Handel to help him feel better and think more clearly to be a better ruler. Handel agreed. So he composed a piece called Water Music, and it worked for King George to feel better, remember, and rule better.
Music is more powerful today than ever in history. We have allowed our generation to give the mastery of our choices to something else, music that manipulates them. It is as deadly, if not more so, than drugs that kill them. It is much more subtle, more available, and habit-forming. Napoleon recognized that power for that and realized that Beethoven would outlast him. He would be remembered more than he was. He said, "Give me control over he who shapes the music of the nation, and I care not who makes the laws." He basically said musicians have more power than the lawmakers.
Certain music can make us give away the mastery of who we are. This is because of the formula of music, which includes melody, harmony, and rhythm. Rhythm can divide music into equal or unequal parts. It is the strongest and has the most impact of the three. For example, here's a song that everybody knows. But let's play it with the proper rhythm. The reason you recognize the second one is rhythm.
After listening to a constant beat for more than 2 measures, put your brain into a hypnotic state, which forces your brain to be at the mercy of music.
At the University of Texas, a study was done on music and memory. They called 300 graduates and they wanted to see if music could aid in the teaching process. They were split into a few groups. They would all be given the same vocabulary to learn from. One group had no music, another had Water Music by Handel, and another was listening to heavy metal. The group that listened to Handel Water Music remembered the most, no music, some, and heavy metal remembered the least. They retested the group in 2 weeks without notice to see if they could remember. After the test, the Handel group remembered almost all the words, whereas the other groups remembered almost none of them.
Not only does music have a huge impact on memory, it also affects behavior. Let's look at an artist who writes manipulative music intentionally. Every time Mick Jagger has a big performance, people die. Many people say his music doesn't affect them, others say it does in a bad way. Mick said, "Our music is calculated to drive kids to sex. It's not our fault what they do, we just make a lot of money doing it." In an interview, he was asked, "Why do you do this? What promotes you to do what you do? I know it's not about the money because you're pretty wealthy." Mick replied, "I'll never be able to spend the money I've got. It's the power to influence the youth of the world. We are moving after the minds of the young people of the world to tell them that the world is a rotten place. There is no hope and there are no rules in life. Our job is to take what we can take." Musicogenic epilepsy is the symptom caused by specific rhythm in music such as Mick Jagger's. It is a state of altered consciousness that is brought about due to music. It implies that music can change the way you behave and alter your consciousness so that you will do things you would never do, like trample people, rape, or murder. As we mentioned earlier, this is a primary example of being at the mercy of music.
In Salt Lake, Jackson Elementary was given a test to see how different their productivity at school would be by giving each child a musical instrument. This school was known for children in gang activity and economic challenges. As this test progressed, some teachers took note that the children had problems of attention and alertness were now having no problems with it. In playing a musical instrument and listening to classical or Baroque music, both hemispheres of the brain are more active. Having taken up musical activities and a structured school schedule, it has improved the academic success and healthier lifestyles of the students.
At the beginning of our research, we asked the class on average how much music they listened to in a day and what genre. 4.5 hours was the average time, and that alternative music was the most popular and classical music the least. Our generation has been raised to think that classical music is pointless and not for our time, when in reality it has been proven to be the most beneficial for our mental health.